Hello, it's Jack here. I mean, my friend was like, you should do vlogs of you making cosplays, and I was like, who would watch that? I wouldn't, but like, I'll try. We'll see. I'm not sure if this will get anywhere, but we'll see. So, I'm gonna show you some of the work I'm gonna do on Flora today. I'm planning to make her season 1/season 2 outfit, her transformation outfit, her fairy outfit. I will also be making her Charmix bag, and a friend, a fellow panel member, are making the Charmix brooches that we're getting. So I will not be making that, but I will be making a corset basically for the top. I will be making her skirt. I will be making shorts and a bag. So hoping that will turn out well, and we'll see if this will actually get anywhere. I have cut out the bag already and sewed it together. And I've also added this pattern on it. I sewed it just with a regular straight stitch with very, very long seam length. So this is going to be the outside of the bag, and you can see that it's pretty stiff. It's actually a sort of foam inside of it, very thin, maybe 4mm foam in it, so it would keep the shape, since it has this shape always in the series. So this is the fabric I'm using. I'm currently making the bag, and what I definitely forgot filming was that this is for the bottom part of the bag, and what I have is I have 2 pieces of fabric with foam in between, just like what I did at these, so you get some kind of structure so you can stand up and doesn't just flop together, because, you know, fabric. Definitely forgot to film that, but yep. And I use a lighter fabric because I need this fabric for cover to my shoes. But yeah, that's what I did, and I'm gonna install the zipper. Hopefully. Good. Zippers are my greatest enemy. I installed the zipper, and look at that! Like, we don't want to look too closely at this because I messed it up, but it's actually kind of nicely installed zipper. What the hell? Oh my god. Guess who started making the band for the bag and sewed it together on the wrong side. So now I have to unpick like almost 2 meters because I didn't think. I should know better than this. I have remade the tube. Oh fuck, did I manage to? You know what? I don't care about that. You know, it's gonna be on the inside. I'm gonna turn this almost 2 meter long tube inside out, and then I can attach it to the bag, and maybe I will finally be done with it soon. I just press the band, the ribbon, the strap, and it looks so much better. And yeah, it took like an hour to turn it right side out, but it was worth it. I wanted to, you know, I hated myself with it. I was like, why am I doing this? But you know, the end results will be worth it. Now to attach this onto that and figure out how to close it with seams and all of that. Yeah. Make a bag, I thought. It will be fun, I thought. Hopefully it will look good. I just finished the petals or leaves, whatever they're supposed to be on her bag. I love them, they're adorable. They kind of look like strawberries. I'm fine with that. I'm gonna give you guys the shittiest tutorial. It's gonna be very much Micah Travers, you know what I'm talking about, which is literally, I took a rock, was a good size. You put it on the fold, like that. Then you trace this until you have a nice half petal shape. Then you cut that out, repeat until you have as many leaves as you need. To double make them, and then you somehow bada bing bada boom pseudo on your sewing machine with stretch seams, because this stretch fabric, and there was no reason for me to actually sew it on a stretch seam, because anywho, that's what you do. Then you sort of turn them inside out, then you ladder stitch them, because of course we love ladder stitches, because it's not like I haven't done that on a whole other cosplay. and then you hand sew them to the bag. Yeah, but at least my bag is done, and it is fabulous. I'm gonna zoom out. I love it very much. Woo! And of course I'm watching Barbie in the background while doing this. So I have already, I'm gonna zoom this out. I have already pressed the fabric, as you should always, is it called pressing steam? Yes. You should always do this to your fabric as long as it's safe. I think this is the lining fabric for the skirt. This is the actual fabric for the skirt, which is a bit more, I don't know if you can see it well on camera, but it's a bit more shimmery and glittery. So this is what I'm gonna use for that, which is what I'm gonna do today. So, woo! So I made this pattern myself because her skirt is confusing. I can probably insert a picture somewhere here where you can see that it's confusing. It's also very irregularly in shape, because sometimes it has 1 point, sometimes it has 3, sometimes it's on one side, sometimes it's on another, but usually it's on the right side and it's usually just one, so that's what I'm going for. I also don't have any real weights for holding my pattern down, so I just used random stuff I have at my hand, so yeah. And also, speaking of nothing, with this pattern, it's very specifically, since you can't cut it on fold, since it has an asymmetrical vibe to it, you have to fold out the fabric and draw it on. So what's important, if you're gonna do this yourself, because that's fun, is that you remember which side is gonna be up. Because I'm always cutting out my patterns on the wrong side of the fabric. This is the right side. And since this is the side that I want out, I turn this over, because otherwise the skirt will be facing the wrong way on my body, and we don't want that, or maybe we do, I don't know. So that's just like a little note. I don't even know what I'm doing, so. But yeah, and it's also like, I'm like suggesting with, on the pattern I have written out which side is the right side, which like goes on the right side of the body, and which it says left side over here. And also, like, always write out your seam allowances if you make your own pattern, because otherwise you will look at it and be like, how long did I make that seam allowance? Time to attach the skirt. I have spent way too much time zigzagging the edges, but I'm gonna do this the right way. That's a pin, sorry. I'm gonna do this the right way because I always skip. Oh, sorry. I always skip zigzagging the edges because I feel like it's a waste of time. Because it takes so long, and just like, it takes long time, it wastes thread, and that's probably not a waste. I don't see the point of it, since I'm not gonna be wearing this every day. But if I ever want to compete with this, which I might, because who knows, then I have to do it the right way. Whee! And the skirt is skirting. I am gonna be wearing shorts under this because, well, for one, she is wearing shorts in the series, and because it's very short, because I don't know what they were on when they were making these clothes, but like, it's crop tops and low-rise jeans and short skirts, and I'm like, yeah. But I'm gonna be making shorts, and I don't know how much you can hear over the Barbie in the background, but at least, the skirt is skirting, and it has a point, which was the whole point of making this. So yeah, now what's left is making the closing of it, because I have this since I turned it inside out. And yeah, sewing that together, making the attachment to it, and the rest. The straps are added. I did make a quick try on, and they do work, thank God. So now the only thing I left is close up the last opening, since I turned it inside out, because I didn't want these to show out on the top. And then the skirt will be done! Finally! At least the skirt will have done. The choker, I'm not sure if I've shown any progress of the choker, but yeah, I found these really pretty lace with flowers on, so I sewed that on top of the green lace for the choker, and just normal snap buttons. And then this is the flower. Yes, I made it a bit extra, but that's fine. I am a bit extra. So hoping that will look good. The choker is done. I just attached the flower with this almost invisible string thingy to the back of this. And then I just hot glued this together. I was very basic cosplay. I might hot glue just a little dollop on there just to make sure it sticks. And also maybe a little on the, not there, but the choker is done. Best song for getting productive. So yeah, this is so chaotic, but I'm starting making the shorts. Still on the boot covers. That's the wig. The stress of the only thing that's kind of done is the back. I'm doing everything at the same time as usual. This is usually where I start to panic over stuff. So we'll see when that sets in. Soon is gonna be the moment of truth while I cut this up, because if I mess any of this up, I do not have enough fabric to do neither the shorts or the shoes over again. So here's to hoping and praying. So I have made the, what's it called? The channel at the end of the short, so you won't see the ridge on the outside. I have also sewn them together, which is literally like when you do any kind of pants usually or shorts, you just insert one leg inside of the other with right sides together and then sew from like the inner seams together, and boom, you have a pair of shorts or pants. So that's what I did, and the pattern I used called for to double stitch it, so I have double stitched the seam that holds it together, because apparently that was a thing. So I will have to take this in because this pattern is too big for me, because it's supposed to be used on stretch fabric. This is not stretch fabric. So I'm gonna have to take them in up here at the waist. We'll see if I do it by elastics, if I'll cut it away some parts, if I just do buttons. It'll be a surprise. I'm currently making sure that the fit of the shorts is correct, so that's what all of these little things are. And you know, while doing that, I am watching the absolute masterpiece. Oh shit. Princess and the Pauper. Ah, the man. Ah, good. I'm probably gonna get copyrighted for this, aren't I? But you know, king. So the shorts are officially done. I have added straps, and these straps are for tying on the skirt, because yeah, that's how I ended up attaching it. Like, it was the easiest way of doing it, and I've just added them on the same side as the closing is, which is on the left side. You can do that however you want. If you want to do this, I don't know. But like, hopefully, and if this doesn't work, I will probably also attach the skirt partly to the shorts. But we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully this works. Skirt! Oh my god. I made this happen. How? I don't know. But yes, this is the solution of tying bows, and I can just easily tuck these under, so it becomes this. And I know this throws out a little bit, but I am okay with that. So that's the very easy solution of adding a skirt onto a pair of shorts, because you don't want any flashing, and they actually wear shorts in the series, thank god. So I'm currently laying out the pattern pieces for the corset part, or well, the top part of my Flora cosplay, and I am using a cotton cam, since I'm gonna use it as a kind of corset to get the stability and that very straight look, so I don't get a lot of bunches up with the fabric, if you get what I mean. And as you might have, I have already included the seam allowance inside the pattern, or technically there isn't any seam allowance, because the last time I made this pattern, it got too big and I wanted it to be a bit, well, too small, so I can tighten it with the laces. And yeah, so that's my next plan. Hoping it will be good. I'm currently figuring out where to put the boning in my pattern pieces. So I'm using another corset pattern. This is actually an 1875 pattern-ish. I think that's the year. I'm using it for my another cosplay. Because of course, so I'm just using it as a reference to where to put the bones, because there weren't actually bones in this one. And what I figured out is basically you have one bone by every seam. Sometimes you have two, depending on the pattern piece. You usually have two by the shirring. It's called shirring? Where you put the laces. You usually have two, one on each side to stabilize it, and you usually have two in the front to stabilize it, unless you have a casing, a bus casing. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, and I am so sorry for all of you guys who's gonna have to watch this, because there is no... It's just gonna be a bunch of clips cut together. It's gonna be that, and we can pretend it's gonna be great. I am currently gonna attach the bodice pieces together, and I'm doing it the way that I attach the middle front to the side front, and then the middle back, to the side back. And then I have also started to mark out some of the boning channels that will not be in contact with the seams, since I needed to mark them out. And there will be one each on the side back and one each on the side front. And then I have my pattern pieces somewhere. They're over here, where I have marked out, can't see shit because I have bad light. Like, I marked them out here, and then I've also written bone. I don't know if how well you can see that. I've written bone, so I know which seams I am gonna have boning channels towards. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then I just have to wait for my order to arrive so I can sew in all of the channels. So next part of Flora is making the fashion layer, I guess we can call it, of the corset, which means I have to cut up my pattern, because the middle part of her costume is in this lighter pink, while the majority of it is in this darker pink. So that will be fun. And remember, if you do this at home, remember to add seam allowances to the edges that you had to sew together again. I will add just a centimeter because that's enough for me. But just remember to do that, otherwise you will end up with a pattern looking wonky when you have sewn it together, because you didn't add seam allowances, and that's apparently a good thing. Not to make it look wonky, but to add seam allowances. Okay, so I forgot to film when I pinned it, but I have started to pin the fashion layer, let's call it that, together. And this is also part of this is gonna be the front part, where she has the lighter pink in the middle. So I'm gonna sew that together. That's the middle part. I also have more laying to the side there. This is one of the panels, or yeah, one of the sides. So just pinning. I'm doing a straight stitch, since this is going onto my my underlayer, the underlayer part, which will be kind of like a corset. So I don't want this to be stretchy. Otherwise, I would have used a stretch stitch, and this is what it looks like on my machine. It's a little, this one is called a stretch stitch, or it's just one. Yeah, one of these is a stretch stitch, at least. And if your machine has a stretch stitch, it will say so in the book or on the computer of it. I have an old machine. She's from the 70s, if I remember correctly. She's old, she's French, I love her. But yeah, she has a stretch stitch, which I normally use when I want things to keep on being stretchy. This, I don't want to keep on being stretchy, so hence why I'm using just the normal stitches. And you can see that I haven't zigzagged these edges. That's because one, they won't show, and two, they don't fray, like, at all. And mainly I zigzag edges that will fray, as seen on the corset layer of the figure part, like the cotton canvas. Yeah. Sewing on the middle stripe color thingy, hoping my theory works, otherwise I will have to figure out something else, but hoping. It worked! Oh my god, I am so happy. And yeah, these two will be sewn together, don't mind that. And she actually does have this line on the front of her garment, so it's fine, but oh my god, it worked! I'm so happy! Currently attaching the middle parts to each other, and so far I'm having a very good feeling about it. If I can get it to fold up, come on. Like, look at that. It's so pretty. Hoping that it will all come together. And I have the top left. I have sewn together the top seam on the fashion layer on the inner layer. And then I just need to add the boning and the modesty panel and close it up, and then that will be done. I'm currently making what's called a modest for the back of my Flora corset, or well, it's technically not a corset, but it's gonna have boning and lacing, so I guess it is technically a corset. But it has the modesty panel because it needs one, because, well, one, I don't want a lot of chafing from the wings, which is the main reason why I'm making it into a corset, so I can support the wings. I never made wings. This is kind of interesting. But I'm also like, it's very like, this is a tutorial I got from a friend. So you just have two fabrics. This is the outside fabric, which is the kind of shimmery fabric, and this is just leftover fabric from the shorts, which match in color. So you just take these in a panel that is, this is as long as the back of my corset is, and wider than it needs to be, because one of this sides is going to get attached. So what you do is you sew them together, then you turn it inside out, close the opening, and then you quilt it basically by sewing diagonal stripes like this, and then you're sewing them in the other direction, so you make a diamond pattern, and that makes it a bit more stiff. And then you then you attach it to, I'm gonna attach it to the inner fabric so you can't see the seam on the outside. And then you just fold it over when you lace it shut. Don't know if that made any sense, but hopefully I'll take some videos. Do some quilting, they said. It will be fun, they said. Okay, no one ever said that. I don't know if you can see, but I have drawn these kind of lines, yet you can't really see them at all. You can see them a bit, these, so I can follow them on my sewing machine, because otherwise this will not work out. I'm hoping this will work out well. We'll see. It's a trial and error. Time to add the modesty panel. I know that this looks super funny because I've attached this at the top. I don't know really why I did that, but I wanted to do that before I did this for some unknown reason. But yeah, just attaching it like this so it will actually come out on the right side. So I will have to fold this inwards when I sew this together so it doesn't get caught in the seam. Then I will punch holes. Like, I will sew this on, then I will attach this finished. Then I will attach all of the boning, or no, I will add all of the boning, close all of the holes for the boning. Then I will turn this inside out, which will be the least fun part. Might turn it inside out before I add the boning. It's a bit of a mystery right now. Ooh, the boning is added, as you can see from the shape of it. Now I'm just going to turn it inside out. It's going to be very interesting. I did, to make the hand sewing easier for myself, I closed off just the edge, because that will mean it will fold over more easily. So I can hand sew it, and that's going to be fun. Yay! This whole edge is going to be hand sewn by me, but you know, what we don't do for cosplay. I made a choice of closing off the edges partly. I'm leaving this much open. Hopefully I can turn this all inside out with no problem. It's gonna be interesting to do with boning. I'm currently putting in eyelets, which is the last step for the top part. And this is not the easiest fabric to work with. So I just like cut a small hole here and a small hole on this side, and then I just punch it through using this handy dandy little handhold eyelet puncher. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, that's the last step on this, and then it's just boot covers, wings, styling the wig, and the gloves left. It's done! The back will look better once I have someone to help me tie it, because I tie this myself, and then it gets a bit confusing, but like the fit, it's actually pretty good. It gives, like, you know, and like, sure, you can see a bit of the boning through it, but I'm fine with that. You can't see a lot, and the modesty panel is doing what the modesty panel should be doing. Woo! I'm currently making boot covers, or, well, I'm making a pattern for them, and this is the first time I'm doing the cellophane, ignore my hairy leg, cellophane with tape kind of wrapping. I've never done this pattern technique before, so that's interesting. I even bought plastic wrap for it because I didn't have any left at home. But yeah, we'll see how this goes, and hopefully I'll have a pair of pink boots by the end of this. That will be not just pink, because I can, you get it. So here's my boot cover pattern. It's a bit chaotic, but I use, you know, the cellophane and tape way of doing it, and yeah, that's the tape pattern. And it came out okay. I had to take in a few seams. I had to cut this up a bit higher than I was supposed to. And because I want the heel covered, I decided to go with, like, as the figure skater I am, we like to have things fastened under our skates. We do it with elastics. And that actually came out really, really good. So that's gonna be the plan. And then I probably will have this being able to close with a button or elastics. It's a work in progress, might cover it up with flowers so you won't see it. But yeah, that's it's actually coming together somehow. I'm shocked. Currently I'm making the gloves, and I didn't have enough fabric. I think I'll just say that, but I have sewn them together. So yeah, I didn't have enough fabric from the actual fabric I'm using, so I had to get creative, which, like, you know, I'm not super happy because it's see-through, and it's not supposed to be see-through, and I am perfectionist, but only when it comes to myself, not anyone else. So yeah, I just had to suffer. So I just have these two combined to create a lighter pink effect, and sew them together. Gonna turn it inside out, gonna cut the right shape. We'll see what happens. I think I forgot to show this, but I did a channel at the top because I'm gonna insert an elastic. So it's just like, you know, it's just a folded over channel. And then for sewing it close, I had a little too little fabric technically, but it works. It works. So this this stitch starts very, very far out. Don't mind it. It's holding together, and then it's just like it just gets closer since, yeah, let's get this is to my wrist. I am gonna add, which you can see on this, I am trying out so I can make it skinnier at the wrist to make it a bit more hugging. Probably can't see it all, but there are some needles in there to check the fit. And yeah, these are probably the easiest part of the cosplay. This and the choker was the easiest, because it's just like, you know, fold things together. I'm not super happy about the color since I didn't have enough fabric to actually make it out of the right color. But, you know, it is what it is, and it's something. And it's gonna be, this color's gonna be on the outside, as you might have been able to guess. The gloves are done. So you can see there's a bit of elastic, not super much, just enough to make them stay up. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but there is technically a rose pattern on these, which you can't really see clearly. But I thought that at least that kind of matches Flora's vibe. I still hate that they're not the same color as the skirts, which they're supposed to, but you know, that's just me being petty with myself. Okay, I thought making wings will be the easiest part. I thought wrong. I'm sitting on 2 books to flatten this down because it just keeps on flopping around everywhere. This is... How does people make this look so easy? It's not. It's a lie. I bought the right kind of tape. Don't mind the falsettos in the background. So I'm just taping them together to make it less obvious. Yeah, you can't really see a lot when it's like this, but then I'm gonna make the thingy that holds them together. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so up on the wings. I was supposed, like, my first plan was to make these covers out of nylon stockings because they're elastics, it works really well, they would be pre-made, so it will be very easy. But the thing is that because of the shape of her, like, you know, pretty big down here, they, like, compress, in my opinion, and that's just because I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my own craft. So I didn't like the shape they made them because, yeah, they made them a bit smaller, didn't like that. So instead, I found this fabric, mesh. It's basically just like kind of tulle-ish. Don't really know how to describe it. But it's like, it's still see-through. Sure, it has bigger holes, but I am gonna spray paint it and add glitter. And this fits really well. I just have to, you know, well, sew it into the shape it is. So I'm hoping for this. Also, the wig. And this is not gonna make any sense in the vlog. I forgot to film when I sew them, but I basically just put the wings down, like I put the fabric down on the pattern, and then I just traced it with a green pen because that showed best through. And then I just sew them together, turn them inside out, put them on. This one, like for the tips, just remember to make to sew a bit outside of the actual pattern, because if you don't, it's not going to fit over when you turn them inside out, since the little fabric you have in here will need to go somewhere. But these are like, they work and they keep the shape I want. Don't mind the wind work in the background. She keeps the shape I want, so I will just finish them off, and then yeah, I'm just gonna probably somehow sew them together at the bottom, and then I'm probably gonna tape them with the metal tape. It's actually aluminum tape, if anyone wants to know. I'm just gonna tape them probably, or glue them to the base, and then I will spray paint it and glitter, and then the wings will be done. Oh my god, the wings are almost done. I ended up doing the closings with hand sewing, which you technically can't tell, but hopefully with the spray paint it won't really be visible. Probably gonna tape this with a tape that's not metal or aluminum, and then I'm just gonna color them and glitter them up, and then I'll be done with them, and then it's just the boot covers left and the wig and making another part. I'm making this scarce. I know you're probably going to be like, oh yeah, starting cutting here so I can because you know Flora is a special type of girl, so she has this lighter part of her bangs. So you just have to cut that off. Cut this off so I can glue that on and then style it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Just did the scary part, which is why it looks so cursed. I have glued this on, and I hope it's gonna turn out good. Like, from this angle, it doesn't look too bad. It looks worse in real life. Cross my fingers. Oof. I think I forgot to film when I cut the bangs for the wig. But I cut them shorter to match the bangs she has, or like front part-ish. I'm just gonna do this, otherwise you won't see anything. Otherwise. And I also realized I forgot to show when I crimped it. I crimped this to give it more volume. And now I'm on the scary stage, which is teasing. I always like hate styling wigs because I'm bad at it. Or like, I don't know, I just never really learned how to do it. And this is like very much trust the process, trust the process, trust the process. But yeah, I'm on the teasing the hell out of the bangs part. Oh my god. I'm so happy. Oh, the floofing is working. I'm probably gonna tease this part too. I don't even know if you guys can hear me because I'm watching. It's like Hooper analyze this video. Nice. But yes, it did the work.